Hey, Friendo, Steve here.
Hey, Larson.
And with Money in the Bank in the books, like a long time ago, those other guys finally got their star ratings in, Larson. We're talking about, of course, the Wrestling Observer himself, Dave Meltzer, the most respected name in wrestling journalism and subjective star ratings.
Very much subjective.
Today, of course, you are on the hot seat as we react to Dave Meltzer's star ratings for Money in the Bank. And I'm going to give you an option. The ball will be in your court today, Larson, because not only do you have the mandatory reactions guessing to Dave Meltzer's Money in the Bank star ratings, if you want, this can be an AEW-esque affair, doubling up on the number of matches by adding Worlds Collide, because I have those here as well.
We'll see how I'm doing with Money in the Bank. We'll go from there.
Okay, so if you get 4 out of 5 Money in the Bank, you call it quits, right?
You got that right.
But if you're like at 1 out of 5, oh man, you got to keep on rolling.
I need to start adding up some numbers and getting some right. So yeah, we're gonna keep going.
It's like some gamblers. it's like what's the show we used to watch? The whammy one.
Oh, press your luck, yeah.
What they used to say. They just say press my luck. I want to press my luck. What they used to say. Keep on going.
Yeah,
whatever.
Peter, I'm gonna press my luck.
Yeah.
No whammy, no whammy, no whammy. Stop.
All right. Here we go. This is what he said. There is not a lot of editorializing across the board.
I don't like that at all.
For the matches. So you might need the whole Worlds Collide thing. He did say this in the pre-matter. He said the wrestling was mostly good. The crowd was hot. It wasn't a must-see show, but aside from the twists and turns in the men's Money in the Bank match, nothing on the show was the caliber of the top matches in the afternoon.
Okay.
So, there you go.
From a wrestling perspective, Worlds Collide was better, you say here.
Yes,
okay.
Correct. So, first up, women's Money in the Bank. This match lasted 25 minutes, 10 seconds. Naomi won. Says this: the biggest pop was Vaker versus Ripley. Lots of the usual climbing and being taken down. Ripley was climbing and Vaker pulled her down, and Vaker used the devil's kiss on Ripley on the ladder. The spot got over big. The match lost momentum late. There was a lot of climbing. Naomi shoved the ladder, and Bliss and Ripley smashed into another ladder.
Is this the first time he's watched a ladder match? Of course there's a lot of climbing.
Well, maybe he prefers less climbing in a ladder match. I don't know. I don't know how that works. Naomi then climbed up the ladder to win. That's all you get.
All right, so you mentioned that one spot got over. Match lost steam, though.
Yeah, lost momentum late.
So you gave it 3 1/4. I went a little bit higher, but he's not going to go as high as I did. The question is he going to go 3 1/4 or go less? The matches were mostly good. That makes me feel like 3 1/4 is kind of the baseline, except for the one match that wasn't mostly good.
The wrestling was mostly good. Nothing on the show was the caliber of the top matches in the afternoon. So that puts you within puts you within a window.
Yeah, I think everything's going to be between 2.5 and probably maybe 4 stars, because he did give a shout out to the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. I'm going to say his Katras were aligned with you 3 1/4.
So close, Larson.
3 stars.
1/4 of a star off 3.5.
Oh, he went 3.5. Katras were aligned with me.
Yeah. So maybe use that as, I don't remember what you gave for the rest of one, but maybe use that as your template.
That's
Number
my
2.
baseline. All right.
Dominic Mysterio pinned Octagon Jr. in 4 minutes, 51 seconds. I just couldn't see the purpose of this. It was nice doing an angle on the earlier show to build to this, but the match just basically told people that AAA is the minor leagues. Octagon Jr. did an Asai moonsault. Mysterio tied his mask into the ropes, which is a regular spot for Octagon. The fans were cheering Dominic. Octagon Jr. did a corkscrew into an arm drag. Dominic won via 619 and frog splash to the back. I actually think I didn't take anything out of that. I think that's all I had.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he didn't see the point of it. It was short. I'm going to say what match happened territory. I'm going to say I gave it 2.5.
Match happened, 2 stars.
Wow, only 2 stars. Wow.
Only 2 stars. Yeah.
Wow, that's actually below match happened. Match happens 2 1/4.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I think match happened as 2.
2 to 2 and a quarter.
I think. Next up, Becky Lynch pinned Valkyria to win the Women's Intercontinental Championship in 15 minutes, 16 seconds. There were dueling chants to start. Valkyria did the Nightwing on the floor. The idea was for both to get on the ring by 10, but Lynch was slow, so the ref had to hold up the count. This looked bad. After several near falls, Lynch won with a front rolling cradle and held the tights for the pin. This was a very good match, but not at the level of their Backlash match, which was something special. This was a very good match.
So he's not going to go 4 stars.
But not at the level of their Backlash match, which was something special. Special.
Now I got to try to remember what he gave their Backlash match. Let me think about that. It was above 4 stars, I want to say. He gave the Backlash match. I'm going to say he went 3 3/4.
So close off by a quarter. 3.5 stars.
He only went 3.5?
He only went 3.5 on this one.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good match.
It was awesome.
Number 4, Seth Rollins won Money in the Bank. Men's Money in the Bank in 33 minutes, 44 seconds. Remember in the pre-matter, he says it wasn't a must-see show, but aside from the twists and turns of Money in the Bank, in the men's Money in the Bank match, nothing on the show was a caliber. So you got that to start with.
So the men's Money in the Bank match was, in his estimation, the one match the same level roughly as the Worlds Collide stuff.
This match had almost zero editorializing. Fairly big write-up, but it was all description. A couple things he points out, though, just to give you something to work with. Americano was back to being introduced from the Gulf of America, so I guess the complaints from the audience in Mexico subsided. Fans wanted tables. Knight gave Sikoa a reverse DDT on a ladder. Rollins was running wild, leading to an OTC chant. Lots of big moves and climbing. So you do get that. Lots of big moves and climbing.
All right.
Rollins then called for help. The fans were chanting for Punk to make the save. And that's just indicating that he recognized the fans were chanting something. Otherwise, nothing to work with. He just described everything. There was no this was cool, did a neat spot. That's all you get.
So I think it's going to be at least 4 stars. The question is going to be 4 stars or 4 1/4. I don't know if he's going to go 4.5. So I personally didn't think that this match was that great. I didn't really find the whole lot of twists and turns outside of Jacob turning on Solo.
Odd he didn't mention how much climbing there was in this match.
There was a ton of climbing.
Oh, he actually did lots of big moves and climbing, but it's sort of in a positive light instead of...
Yeah, no, it's weird.
Does he like
climbing
in
conjunction with big moves? Yay. Climbing by itself, not so much.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to be a 1/4 star off. I'm going to say he went 4 1/4.
1/4 star off. 4.5 stars.
Wow, he went 4.5?
Yeah, 4.5 stars on that one.
That's awfully high.
It is high. All right, here's your last chance before we get to Worlds Collide, which I'm going to assume you're going to want to press your luck. But I'll ask you after this one. Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso beat Logan Paul and John Cena in 23 minutes, 59 seconds. It started with "You can't wrestle, yes he can" chants at Cena. They spent several minutes beating on Jey as part of the storyline of the beating Jey was taking through his... Wait, what? Oh, okay. They spent several minutes beating on Jey as part of the storyline of the beating Jey was taking through helping his friends, costing him the title. Wow, that is a crazy sentence. He's reinventing the English language here. They teased Cena and Paul not getting along. They argued and forgot about Uso, who tagged in Rhodes. Uso speared Paul and super kicked Cena. Paul used Pulverizer on Rhodes. Instead of going for the pin, Paul very slowly went to the top rope. He did it so slowly. Rhodes got up and gave him a superplex. Uso used the splash off the top on Paul. The cam work kept missing key shots. Paul did an Asai moonsault where he flew far enough to splash Uso through the English announcers table. This was impressive as hell, even though he landed on Uso's knees. Cena then got his title belt and hit Rhodes with it. This is when Ron Killings under a mask came in and got the belt and hit Cena, leading to Rhodes scoring a pin with Crossroads on Cena. That's all you get.
Wow.
What did he give this bitch?
No editorializing whatsoever.
The move was impressive.
You know, he gave Becky and Lyra 3.5. He gave the women's Money in the Bank ladder match 3.5. And the only match in the preamble he singled out was the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. I'm going to say he gave this one 3.5 too.
3.5. You're on the board. So right now, Larson, you are a cool 1 out of 5. You could end up with 1 out of 10, or you could end up with more than that. What do you like to do? What do you want to do?
I'm going to press my luck, Steve.
All right, let's go. Let's go. All right, no whammies, no whammies.
No quarter star off, no quarter star off, no quarter star off. Stop.
Octagon Jr. and Mr. Iguana and Aerostar beat Dragon Lee and Lince Dorado and Cruz del Toro in 14-19. Apologies, I didn't actually go through all these and eliminate the descriptions, so I'll be stumbly bumbly in this. Dorado was a replacement for the injured Joaquin Wilde. The crowd took to Iguana instantly. Graves did make a funny faux pas, saying Antonio Pena was the godfather of Triple H when he meant to say Triple A. That tickled Dave. Lee got to do so much more here than he does in WWE. Aerostar did a nice tornillo off the top rope on Lee. Del Toro did a cool rolling cradle on Iguana. Laesca got over. Dorado did an elbow drop and Spanish fly on Yesca, which got super heat. Dorado, who is a coach in NXT, seemed to consider this his audition to get back in the ring on these shows going forward. This was a series of entertaining, great moves and pretty much the perfect opener for this kind of a show. Octagon Jr., since he was the one doing the angle, pinned Dorado with a fallaway slam off the top rope. Dave Meltzer gave you a lot to work with there. What star rating did he give this match?
Perfect opener, he says. I don't know if he's going to go as high as 4 stars. So I'll say 3 3/4.
Wow, he went 4 1/4.
Wow.
I would have thought he'd have gone over 4 1/4, to be honest with you. He glazed the shit out of that match.
Yeah, he did. Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Here we go. Next up, Stephanie Vaker and Lola Vice beat Dalis and Chica Tormenta in 9 minutes, 36 seconds. The match wasn't much. Really, it was built up for Vaker to do her Devil's Kiss spot late after it was blocked early. Vice has never worked lucha, and Dalis and Tormenta aren't very good, so them working this match out ahead of time in Orlando seemed to help out.
Wow.
That's a loaded sentence in terms of trying to figure out, did that make it good? Vaker pins Dalis with the SVB. That's all you get.
That's all you get. Wow.
Kind of shit on that match.
Yeah, he did. I thought this match was pretty good. You know, I was ready to go like, 3 3/4, because I thought it was a pretty solid bout. But now, I don't know. I'll be a quarter star off regardless. I'll say 3 1/4.
Not even close. 2 stars.
He went 2 stars?
Yeah.
This match is way better than 2 stars.
All right, next up.
2
Santos
stars.
Escobar. 2 stars. Santos Escobar and Anel Iberto beat Psycho Clown, Pagano, and El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. in 15 minutes. This is what Meltzer had to say. Fun match. Angel and Berto are both very good, but they also looked a lot better here than on main roster. Boy, that's true. That was me editorializing. Psycho did a double German suplex on both Garzas. Psycho did a tope from the apron into the ring and out on Escobar. Pagano did some stuff that looked bad, but he showed he's the actual Psycho in this match, doing a cope tonero onto nobody and splatting on the floor. Splatting on the floor.
Yep.
The match had great heat. There was a dive series where Pagano did a tope con hero, Wagner did one, and Psycho did a tornillo. The Garzas did a double press off the middle rope and slam into the ring on Wagner. Psycho used the Psycho driver on the apron on Berto. Angel did a moonsault off the top rope to the floor. Berto speared everyone. After a series of near falls, Escobar pinned Wagner with a Phantom Driver.
All right, said they had great heat. Mentioned a
match.
Couple rough spots with Pagano. So I don't think he's going to go as high as the opener. That was 4.5, right?
The opener was 4.25.
He said good. He prefaced by saying good match?
Fun match.
Fun match. All right, fun. We don't know where fun lands.
Yeah.
I'll say 3 3/4.
So close. 3.5. So close. You've been close on most of these, except for the Dalis match. Yep. It's reaction expert.
Gosh.
All right. Come on, man. Let's try to get 3 out of 10 here. Next up, North American title action. Ethan Page retained in 14 minutes, 53 seconds. This match was exactly as it was designed to be, which was 3 guys doing all kinds of flying moves and Paige being in jeopardy and winning in the end. Fans chanted for tables. Conan questioned why after such a great start they would be chanting for tables. Evans dove over the top rope on Paige, who was on the Spanish announce table. Evans did an os cutter on Laredo for a near fall, but Paige saved. Paige then threw Evans out of the ring and hit the twist of fate on Laredo for the pin. No more editorializing there.
Even the editorializing he offered doesn't give me much. More or less saying this match did what it aimed to do.
Yeah.
I thought this match was really, really good. I mean, I honestly thought it was better than the opener, but I don't think he's going to go that high. I'll say he went 4 stars.
He went 4.5 stars.
He went the same score. And he barely says anything about it and gives it the same score.
It's a really good match. But he did say it was exactly as it was designed to be. That doesn't help at all.
No, it doesn't help. If Cody and Cena aimed to have a bad match at WrestleMania, they did exactly what they set out to be. Doesn't mean you give it a high score.
Yeah. No, he did mention the fans chanted for tables, but fans do that all the time these
know.
days. So he didn't say anything about big moves or heat. I mean, he said flying moves, but no big moves. I don't know what to tell you.
All right, just move on to the next one.
Last opportunity.
I'm guessing he's going to give it 5 stars, but read the thing.
All right. This is a long-ass write-up. El Hijo del Vikingo pinned Chad Gable in 21 minutes, 59
Just
seconds.
give me the first 2 sentences.
This was a tremendous match and had to be a career highlight. Gable being put in a main event as a single star on a major show. He proved he was worth the spot and then some. I'm going to continue. Plus, to the live crowd, Gable was the star since it was a WWE crowd. All the early chants were in English and both pro and con on Gable. They exchanged submissions with Gable working for ankle locks and Vikingo armbars. This is something that would never happen in AAA previously, as it is not their style. I kind of feel like that they did exactly what they set out to do then. Let's see here. Here we go. Vikingo did a missile drop kick and a rope walk into a 630 on the floor. He followed with a shooting star off the apron, but Gable got his knees up. Gable pulled out a table and got a big babyface pop. Then the crowd got really quiet. Maybe now they just wanted a table spot right away. It was so obvious that Graves brought it up. They went to hard chops. Gable came off the top rope into a code breaker. Graves in his commentary was falling into the WWE trope of giving away that near falls weren't the finish. Vikingo did a Phoenix splash off the middle rope backwards into the ring. Gable was facing away from the ring and gave Vikingo a top rope pile driver. That's what I thought it was too, but Graves called it a top rope power bomb. And I was like, that was a top rope pile driver right there. Meltzer says about the top rope pile driver, that was incredible. The negative was this crowd didn't have heat for the match at this point, but reacted big to the big spots. So they gave them more big spots. Vikingo came off the top of the post into a Canadian Destroyer on the apron. Gable was rolled into the ring but kicked out. Gable then did a moonsault off the top rope outside the ring and put Vikingo through a table. The crowd had waited all night for a table spot. Both got in at 9. Vikingo came off the top rope with a Poison Rana and Meteora and pinned Gable after a 630.
I was ready to go 5 and above. Then he mentions the crowd got quiet.
Yeah. Yeah,
that being
they only
said, I don't
gave
think
Heat.
it's going to take it. I'll say he went 5 stars because it was really good.
So close. 4 3/4 stars.
This match was so much better than the opener. More than a 1/4 star off.
The opener he gave 4 1/4, so it was half. He gave it a half star more.
Oh, opening
He
with
gave,
4
he gave him the opener 4 1/4.
Sorry, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I
Yeah.
thought this main event was even more than a half star. Better
It
than
was
the
a
opener.
fantastic match. Yeah, dude. Yeah, it was. I'm surprised he didn't give it 5 stars.
Yeah.
That damn crowd. So.
Well, that stunk. I stunk it
Yeah,
up.
kind of a turd of a day for you, Larson.
Yeah, it was.
But the good news is now you get your weekend because we're not doing our SmackDown review
Nope.
tonight. We're doing it on Monday, and you can start your weekend. You know, it's only uphill from here or downhill, whatever the phrase.
Up. It's only up from here.
You can only get better from here.
Yeah.
Only better things can happen now to you,
I hope so.
unless it's like not. You know, I
It's
don't know.
entirely possible.
You might twist your ankle doing
This is
something.
but a harbinger for more terrible.
Oh, you don't have the juice going into the weekend.
Maybe not.
Okay. All right. Well, anyways, not my problem. Next time, I'll be in the hot seat, and I
I would have gotten
now
like
have-
6 out of 10 if I wasn't 1/4 star off all the time.
Well, shoulda, coulda, woulda, asshole.